The Walking Dead, Elena Rodriguez's Gauntlet. Chapter 1, The Prison Break. Elena Rodriguez pressed her back against the cold concrete wall, listening to the chaos erupting outside cell block D. The former corrections officer had been trapped inside the prison for 6 hours since the horde broke through the outer fence. Now hundreds of walkers roamed the corridors she once patrolled. Her radio crackled, "This is Daryl. Anyone alive, get to the courtyard. Rescue's coming." Elena recognized the voice. Rick's group had made this prison a sanctuary, now a tomb. She checked her pistol, 12 rounds left. Through the window she saw Daryl's bike, but 50 walkers blocked the way. A growl came from behind. Elena spun. A walker in an orange jumpsuit lunged. Bang! She blew its skull off. The noise drew groans from all sides. "Shit," she whispered. They knew where she was. Elena ran from the cell block into the corridor. Walkers poured from every door, guards, inmates, visitors, all hungry. She fired 3 quick shots, dropping 3 walkers, but more came. Her training kicked in: aim, squeeze, switch targets. A guard walker lunged left. She shot its eye, spun, and dropped another on the right. Brass casings flew. The armory was 30 yards ahead. If she could reach it, she'd have enough firepower to clear a path to the courtyard. Elena sprinted forward, firing as she ran. Bang! Bang! A female walker in a blood-stained dress went down. Bang! A massive inmate with a chunk missing from his throat crumpled. But her pistol clicked empty just as 3 walkers blocked the armory door. Chapter 3, Close Quarters Combat. Elena ripped the baton from her belt, extending it with a sharp snap. The first walker, a thin man in a suit, probably a lawyer who'd been visiting when hell broke loose, reached for her with rotting fingers. She drove the baton's tip into his temple with a wet crunch, then spun to catch the second walker across the jaw. Bone shattered, but it kept coming. Elena grabbed a fire extinguisher from the wall and brought it down on the creature's skull with both hands. The third walker, a female guard Elena recognized as Patricia from the night shift, stumbled forward with her service weapon still holstered. Elena grabbed the pistol, chambered a round, and put Patricia down with a close-range headshot. She kicked open the armory door and her heart soared. Riot shotguns, assault rifles, boxes of ammunition. Everything she needed for the fight ahead. Elena grabbed an AR-15 and loaded 3 magazines, then picked up a pump-action shotgun for close work. Outside the armory, the groaning was getting louder. The whole prison was converging on her position. Time to fight her way out. Chapter 4, The Corridor of Death. Elena stepped into the corridor, facing 20 walkers blocking the exit, with more coming from side doors. She fired her AR-15 on full auto, muzzle flashes lighting the dim hall. For every walker down, 2 more appeared. Reloading quickly, she shot a chef walker lunging at her. Halfway through, she switched to shotgun. 1 blast took a walker's head off, the next dropped 2 more. Years of training and survival sharpened her moves. Duck, reload, fire. Bursting into the courtyard, Elena faced over 200 walkers between guard towers and fences. "Daryl. Over here." His voice cut through the chaos. Near the gate, he picked off walkers with his crossbow, joined by Carol, Maggie, and Glenn fighting to hold the exit. Elena moved carefully, shooting 3 walkers ahead and 2 flanking her. A walker fell from a guard tower. She blasted its face before it could rise. 30 yards. Daryl called, firing through a walker's eye. Suddenly, engines roared. Black SUVs with armed men appeared. The governor's forces had arrived. "We got company," Elena yelled as bullets flew overhead. The governor's men fired on survivors and walkers alike, turning the yard into a deadly 3-way fight. She dove behind a cafeteria table as gunfire raked the area. Walkers dropped, but more kept coming, drawn to the noise. Popping up, Elena fired through the fence, hitting one attacker who fell, rifle clattering. "Elena, move your ass." Daryl's crossbow bolt took down a walker just inches from her position. She could see his motorcycle 20 yards away, but the space between was filled with both undead and hostile gunfire. A walker in a business suit stumbled toward her, half its face shot away by the governor's men. Elena put it down with a headshot, then immediately swung to engage a female walker in a nurse's uniform. The governor's forces were advancing through the main gate now, using the walker chaos as cover. Elena could see their tactical formation. These weren't random survivors, they were trained soldiers. Chapter 7, The Escape. "Cover me," Elena shouted to Daryl as she made her final sprint. She emptied the AR-15's magazine in a sustained burst, cutting down every walker between her and the motorcycle. Daryl's bike roared as Elena jumped on. Behind them, the governor's men advanced, clearing walkers with superior firepower. "Where's Rick?" Elena shouted. "Out with the others. This place is lost." Daryl replied, speeding toward a fence gap. An explosion rocked the prison as they escaped. Flames rose from cell block C. The governor was burning it to flush survivors. Down the highway, Elena saw Rick's vehicles scattered. The prison was gone, but they were alive, a hard-won victory. 2 hours later, they met survivors at an abandoned truck stop. Rick stood grim by his damaged cruiser. "How many lost?" Elena asked, checking ammo. "Too many," Rick said. "But you escaped with vital intel on the governor's military forces." Elena nodded. "They're trained, armed, and coordinated. This fight isn't over." In the distance, smoke still rose from the prison that had briefly been their home. Somewhere out there, the governor was consolidating his victory. Somewhere else, Negan's saviors were expanding their territory. But here, among the survivors gathered around their vehicles, Elena Rodriguez had found something worth fighting for. These people had become her family, and she'd kill every walker and hostile survivor between them and safety. The war was just beginning, but Elena was ready. She'd run one gauntlet today and survived. Whatever came next, she'd face it with her finger on the trigger and her eyes on the horizon. In the world of The Walking Dead, that was all anyone could do: survive today and hope for tomorrow.